But let's imagine that this is a home show. Our booth is set up, and thank you, All Systems and Dish Network, for giving us a beautiful display this year. The thing about home shows and events, it's an evolving business. And I told you I started in the vacuum business in the 90s. And back then, you could put a sign out and you get people walking up to your booth. I'm sure some of you have done events back then, right? You maybe put Dish Network and people would walk up and be interested in your product, right? But then it evolved. It got a little bit more difficult, right? Competitors came in. It was a little bit more fierce competition-wise. Consumer became more educated. So now we have to get a little bit more tricky, crafty. So we got some wheels and we had drawings and we got a little bit more clever with how we thought at events, right? We went from putting a sign out in the 90s to spinning wheels 5 years later to coming out from behind the table to, oh my goodness, to the right of me and to the left of me. There's really good sales reps. I've developed another sales process that gives us the ability to gain that customer and to get that customer's attention. I have a system that will teach you how to go around the back door and maybe not to look like such a salesperson and maybe do something a little bit different that customers aren't used to, that they'll actually stop at your booth for a second. Sales 101. Do not devalue your competition. I do the opposite of that. I say, Mr. Jones, Comcast is a good service. It's a great service. They got great internet speeds. They got a decent TV product too, right? We're still walking a lot of times. So it's a good service. But by the time I get to that, now he's like, what's going on? Why is he telling me I have a good product? And oh my goodness, sometimes they stop to listen because now they're curious. Everybody else in this show has just come right at me, mocked what I had, said that's a piece of junk, or there's a problem with what I have. He's saying I have something good. There's something more. Now I at least want to hear him out, hear what he has to say. This is the psychology behind it. I don't know if you get the psychology and what I'm doing there. I backdoored that sale. I didn't start from the front. I started from the back. I created the problem for the customer. I didn't create the problem. I discovered the problem. I unraveled the blankets from the back end of the bed.
So at this point, I'll start. The first question I like to ask is, what do you like to watch? So it's a qualifying question, but it's also nice because it can build a little bit of rapport with the customer. The next question is, okay, so you have one DVR. Wouldn't it be nice if you could have both TVs be DVR? So now I know I'm thinking Hopper. And then the last question is, are there any premiums that you really like? Because that way we can talk about, at the end, we can talk about price. The hot buttons can be different for every customer, right? Like I may love the fact that I use prime time all the time, and I love the fact that I can use auto hop. But the customer might be more interested in Dish Anywhere because they have a college student in their house who would use that a lot. The next thing I will go to, once I've really touched on their hot buttons and figured out what they care about, is I'm going to talk about price and what savings we can offer them. Now, at that point, I'll actually go in for a trial close, and we'll find out if I've done my job or not yet. At that point, I'll start to ask, well, how does Wednesday look for installation? If they give me an answer of, oh, well, I don't know, not ready to do that quite yet, I know I have to go back and talk about more features and benefits and build more value in the product. In addition to that, I have to ask, what is their hesitation? Because at that point, you're going to get whatever their objection is, you're going to get it out of them, and then you can actually handle it right then and there and make it a more solid sale. You've done your job, so you've built value, you've showed them savings, and you've overcome all their objections. You shouldn't have any problem closing the sale at that point.
Guys, thanks for having us.
Thank you.